Yay! Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live, and I am Abiola Abrams, and I'm so excited about today's conversation. So come on into the room, take your shoes off, make sure you have something to drink, some tea, some water is fine. Whatever you are into, this is the Global Goddess Rising Circle. And you have to say rising just like that. Global Goddess Rising Circle. So all of my Instagram peeps, I see you. I'm just coming on to let you know that in a second, I see you, Italy, Istanbul, Brooklyn. I see y'all, but we're going to be talking over on YouTube and Hay House's Facebook. So come on over to my YouTube or my Facebook or Hay House's Facebook. If you want to win a deck, you definitely want to go to Hay House's Facebook, okay? You're not going to want to miss today's conversation because we are speaking with my girl, Tia Johnson, known as a cosmic witch. And if you're wanting to know what that means, come over and join us, all right? Okay, good. So if we are just meeting for the first time, I am Abiola. As I said, I'm the author of African Goddess Initiation from Hay House and the new deck, the African Goddess Rising card. So Instagram, you have been warned. I will see you over on Facebook or YouTube. And everybody else who's still in the room, let's get this party started and invite in Miss Tia Johnson. Hello, goddess. Yay!
Hello. I'm so thrilled to be here.
I am so excited, and your purple hair looks lovely.
Thank
Let
you.
me tell them who you are, and then we'll get into the card pulls. Let's switch it up. Because they need to know. They need to know. So Tia Johnson is not only my friend, who we've done events together from Harlem to, was it the Bahamas? I was gonna say Bermuda, but it was the Bahamas, right? The Florida Keys and all of that. Cruising pre-COVID times.
Right.
Tia is a spiritual lifestyle coach, an eclectic witch, a certified healer, a best-selling author, an international speaker, and a podcaster. She helps people who want to live their truth, unlock their magic, reconnect with the goddesses, which is how we connected initially, and create the magical life they desire. Tia does this through confidence and boundaries building, spiritual work, spiritual healing, witchcraft, and mindset strategies that help them honor themselves so they can show up in the world as an unapologetic enchantress, living on their own terms. So yes, Tia. So I'm so excited that you are here. So you are just back stateside from Germany. So before we get into the cards, what were you doing in Germany, my sister? Yes, international.
Yes. I was visiting one of my dear friends as I needed a vacation, well overdue, and it just aligned so perfectly. So I spent time with him and his lovely family, and we just toured Germany, and then we also went to Strasbourg, France. So it was a lovely vacation with people, who adore you and you adore them.
Yes, that sounds beautiful. People are saying they love your hair. They're saying
Thank you.
purple. They're saying they are like really enjoying like the full goddess energy of you, Goddess Tia. So let's pick a card. I'm going to shuffle, and if you can tell me when to stop, and that will be our intention reading for everyone here in the circle. Okay, so the cards are cleared. Everyone just focus your energy.
Okay.
All right. So we were between these two. So this was the main one and then that one. Okay. And so from the top or from the bottom?
Top.
Okay. All right. So Goddess Tia pulled for us grounding, which makes a lot of sense. We need to, in this energy right now, get grounded. If this card, if this goddess shows up for you, it means that you need to get rooted, you need to get grounded It means that things can feel like they are up in the air. And, we have a lot of that energy right now. It can feel like, confusing energy, can feel like unsteady energy, but just come back to your grounding and stabilize yourself. And then the other card we were in between, of course, Mama Oshun, she always shows up. Y'all who are here, you know that she always shows up. And so of course it's her. And it's fearless love. And so that is a beautiful reading. So to tap into more fearless love, let's get grounded. And so, Tia, I know that you have a lot of thoughts probably around getting grounded and feeling grounded in order to enhance and step into your goddess magic and your goddess power. I know I didn't even get to introduce. Oh, I did introduce you. So let them know what your thoughts are on being grounded, on grounding yourself.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the things that I even had to remind myself of recently is what are the very things that I'm passionate about that really lights up my soul, that brings me back to myself. And so recently I was in what do you call it? A talk where I was led to do childhood wound healing. And at first I thought, I had a great childhood. Like, I'm good. But what I realized is when I reconnected with myself, I forgot that I wasn't playing as much. It was a lot of hard work and some play, hard work and some play. But it's the playing. It's that, what do I love to do? I love to write. So I had to remember what lights up my soul. What is it that I love to do and amplify that? And it's not going to impede anything else in my life because that's what fuels me. So the grounding part really had to do with me reconnecting with myself, understanding that play. And when I get the goddesses involved, it's like, oh, duh, yeah, Tia. Like, so when the goddesses come in, sometimes it's as simple as lighting a candle, burning incense, or just letting the messages flow through. That's why I love that Goddess Oshun came through because with that water and like everything going on, definitely she'll always come in. So I would just say go back to what really lights your soul, connect with the goddesses and see who shows up. Listen to the messages, whether it's music, conversations, and continue to amplify that in your life.
I think that that's such an important message, especially for this beautiful circle. Like the people who show up here, as you know, they're the same people who show up for you. They are the people who are, this is a natural circle of empaths, a natural circle of givers, a natural circle of, we know how to work hard. We know how to, but we don't necessarily like where the play, allowing more play, more pleasure, more fun, more joy, all of those things, the sweetness of life, the sweetness, the honey of life, is key, is absolutely key. And so how were you initially called to the goddesses? Because like I said, you and I initially connected around the goddesses around like 2014 or something. And at that time, like I was so excited to find you because I was like, oh, another Black girl talking about goddesses, right?
Yes. Oh my goodness. So and I'm so grateful. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I'm just so grateful for you. Like, I still say at random times, thank you for Abiola, because my first workshop really was with you in Harlem and that bookstore. So I'm still grateful. I still think about that to this day. And like when it came to the goddesses, I just started reading a lot. I was going through grief. My grandparents had passed and I was looking inward, and reading is something that I love to do. So I figure, well, it must be in a book, something to help me get through this. So, exactly. So what happened was that I just kept reading, and that's how I discovered the goddesses. I was just reading one book, and this is when Borders existed, and I would just sit in Borders, read a book like, oh yes, I want this, and go buy that. And it just, one thing led to another, where I discovered the goddesses via books, and everything just clicked. It just made sense. The calling, the what they represent, everything. It just felt natural. It felt like home. So really, it was just through reading, just constant reading and educating myself on spirituality.
Now, I know that you are a scholar, like you are a brilliant woman. You're a scholar. You're a person with that rose very quickly in a corporate environment and corporate background and all of those things. So did folks think you were crazy? Like, what did people feel like? Is Tia out of her mind? Like, what is Tia doing?
Well, a lot of people already know that I'm like off.
Yes, to being off. High fives and off words. Yes.
But yeah, and when I do explain to people, my corporate background, things like that, it all makes sense. I'm like, oh yeah, I can see that. But also, as a lot of people who are still involved in corporate world or any capacity to that, where they have that calling within and they don't know how to let it out, and even in the smallest ways. So yeah, when I connect with people that way, it helps them to see like, oh, there are people like me who are in this space, but also spiritual and also want to connect with goddesses. And that's not weird, because I thought I was crazy. That's the thing. Oh, okay. So it's like that. It's a relief to them.
That makes so much sense. And the cool thing is that even just from 2014, when we first hung out, to now to 2021, like things have come so far where like everybody is talking about goddesses. And as I say all the time, like science is catching up with spirituality, the corporate world is catching up. I've given talks I gave a talk recently from Microsoft, and Dropbox and corporations like that. And so it's like the world is getting caught up with you. So tell them what the book To Be Goddess is about, because I really feel like that is, a classic, is gonna go down as like a classic book in this area.
Thank you. So the book To Be Goddess is a 3-parter, and I designed it to be a workbook. So when you see it, it's like, flimsy in a way, because it's big and it opens up, and it's all about reconnecting with yourself, the goddesses, and then getting educated. So part 1 is discovering the 13 goddesses who I initially worked with, and really felt their energy, had visions. And I thought, oh my gosh, let's break this down. So to be really, especially when you learn another language, it really is just a form of saying I am. So it's like, I am a goddess, and here's the domain in which I reign supreme. So it's really helping people in part 2, after they get to understand some of the goddesses, to understand who they are, to celebrate their birthday. Like, that's your feast day. Celebrate who you are. Understand what's your domain. What are you great at? Not just good at, but great at. What are your passions? What do people come to you for? Okay, let's magnify that. And then the part 3 is understanding and really debunking a lot of things, like the number 13 is not evil. Right, we have 13 menstrual cycles. We used to celebrate 13 months. 13, so I really just break that down. So as a whole, at the end, you will come up with your profile, your goddess profile, to get you back into yourself, which is lovely, because we pulled the grounding card, and then allow you to flourish in life, living your truth. So that way you can do that and not feel scared and guilty and worried. You could just do that building block by building block.
That is so well said, and as someone says, this beautiful brown queen in the audience, she says, the awakening is really happening.
Yes.
That's what it is. The awakening is really happening, and it's really, it's an exciting time. And it's like, like I say, like the patriarchy's like hanging on for dear life, like hanging at this, like holding on, like holding on. But it's like all of us who are here in this room, we're like, yeah.
They're like, yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. And I know that you have like a lot of like exciting things that you are working on now. So what is really like bubbling up for you right now?
Yes. So I really started to focus even more on my podcast. And it's the craziest thing happened. I didn't know that it was in the top 5% globally. I'm in this podcast group. Yeah, I was just like, So in this group, a lady said, or she wrote, how can I tell if a podcast is popular? Because she wanted to curate the show that she went on. So a guy posted, oh, you go to this website and they'll tell you like the rate and all this other stuff. So I went on there. I'm just like, 5%, is that like 5% bad? 5%, just like when you hit the lottery, like, all right, I'm going to double check these numbers before I get too excited, And so I figured, you know what? Let me really hone down on this and expand the podcast. So my next big project is to really focus on how I can grow the podcast even more and see what can come from that. So that's going to be my project going
I
forward for
love
right now.
that. And that's is that the Enchantress Society?
Yeah, I renamed the
Name.
podcast to the Enchantress Society.
Yes, we love that name. Type into the comments, I am an enchantress. Let's all claim that energy.
Yes.
And that is the goddess archetype that you're giving us with the beautiful purple hair. You are giving enchantress.
Thank you. Thank you.
Goddess Laquita says divine feminine in the house. Yes, that is the energy. That is completely the energetic vibration. Yes, enchantress energy. And so what does that mean for folks who are like, what does that mean? What is an enchantress?
Yes, an enchantress is a magical woman who wields magic, really. So when I looked it up, I wanted to have something that was also, embracing, sexuality too, because sometimes when, especially when I talk to women, when they begin to embark on spirituality, there's a lot of debunking and unlearning that has to happen. And what a result is understanding that our sexuality is, how can I put this? It fuels us. It is our energy, and it's so powerful. And so I figured the Enchantress, she's a she's a little bit of a sexy woman, and she's embracing all of her goddess energy and all of her magic. And I figured with that term, it's something that also people can be more receptive to, because sometimes with the term witch, people have in their mind an old woman that's not, well. And sometimes when they hear goddess, they think that equates to getting your nails and hair done. I'm like, no. Goddess is, she's a lot. Okay. She's a whirlwind. She's a hurricane.
Yes.
So the Enchantress helps to usher people into that part.
And what I love about the term enchantress, people are saying congratulations on all of your success, and they are declaring I am an enchantress, is that, that is really, like you said, that's the energy, the kernel of goddess energy, because you are enchanting toward you instead of chasing, as we've been taught, the divine, the masculine energy of chasing, hunting, pursuing. A goddess is magnetic. We magnetize us. And so enchantress, yes, you are enchanting everything toward you. You're enchanting your loves, you're enchanting your your purpose, you're enchanting your money and abundance, you're enchanting good health, you're magnetizing all of these things toward you.
Yes.
So that makes perfect sense. I want you now to take your enchantress energy, and Goddess Tia, look at the audience, look at the comments, and the people who are on Facebook with the little Facebook logo, please pick someone who is a winner of the African Goddess Rising Oracle card deck for today.
Okay, I am being called to LaSonia. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. LaSonia Mechel
Spell
Walker.
it out so Hay House can find them in the crowd.
Yes, LASONYA MACHELLEWALKER.
Okay, congratulations, Lasagna. Congratulations. And to people who have won in the past and maybe you haven't, Hay House hasn't been able to find you, drop me an email at business@abiolaabrams.com, business@abiolaabrams.com. Or if you forget that email address, my first name and last name @gmail.com is the easiest way, So what is coming up next? You are doing this podcast. Wait, no, I have a question for you before that. Like you touched base with, you touched on how people are nervous about the term eclectic witch, which is the term that you use in your bio. Can you explain to them what that means?
Yeah, so initially I started off learning about Wicca, and that's really getting into the earth cycles and really being connected with the earth. But as I was growing, I just started to be connected with more things, and I just couldn't narrow it down to just one thing. And also reminded me of Whoopi Goldberg and Sister Act, where she says she's an eclectic, music person. I'm like, yeah. So Whoopi Goldberg also helped me with that. She doesn't know.
Thanks, Mama Whoopi.
Thanks, Whoopi. That's where I learned that word from. And I'm like, this is perfect. And then with the wish part, I really started connecting with the cosmos, understanding my astrological chart, and I encourage everyone to learn that, because that information is so important, and it is as sensitive as your social security number. So don't just go to anyone to read your birth chart. Make sure you trust them. So I started connecting with the cosmos, understanding what does it really mean when Mercury retrograde happens, why does Saturn impact me, things like that. And I just started to get just so involved with understanding the energies around me. So the eclectic witch is just really me saying, hey, I understand oracle cards, I understand astrology, I understand a lot. Not necessarily I'm going to say I'm an expert, subject matter expert in all this, but I have enough information that I bring that all together so I can attract, so I can understand, why do I feel this way? Oh, that's right, the full moon is coming and my moon is in Pisces, so of course I'm emotional and I want to stay in and don't do anything. So it's really about understanding who I am, how the external emotions impact me and cosmos impact me, and how I can use that for my benefit and for the benefit of others.
I'm smiling because I never knew that about you. My moon sign is Pisces too. Yes. Because I'm Leo sun and Pisces moon. Leo sun and Pisces moon. And so what's your advice for people with this moment in time as we're coming out of retrograde season, and we're in this harvest season, coming out of the full moon? What's your intuitive advice, or anything that you want to share that they can do? We're big on rituals around here. My book, African Goddess Initiation, is a book of rituals.
Yes.
So what's something intuitively that you feel additional advice for the people who are here to really be able to rise into this new moment?
Yes. So 3 things come to mind off the bat. One is, in the morning when I brew my coffee, I usually have an elixir. I have like little droplets to help raise your frequency. So even if you don't drink coffee, you may have tea, start putting that intention into the tea. So make that your ritual. I don't care if you have the loose leaf tea or just the tea bag. Start thinking, as I brew this tea, as I brew this coffee, things come to me. It's bubbling. My manifestations are happening. It's hot. It is coming in. Yes. And then you can, with every sip, manifestation, that manifests, because you're literally taking it in, and visualize while you do that. Another thing I love to do is when I'm in the shower, and that's when oshun or Imana comes in, and I get these messages. So while you're in the shower, and there's even shower bombs now, so you can just put it right down there, get the aroma of lavender or whatever you pick, and just think about washing away all that emotional debris that we pick up from people unintentionally. Is going down a drain, is not coming back. And then after you do that, just think about, again, intention. Yes, let the money flow, shower over me. You know how they say, like, shower over me, do that. And then the last one is to find people who you can be vulnerable with. I don't care if it's one other woman, like just find one other person at least who you can say, I'm not feeling good today. And then she'll go, girl, let's go order Chinese food, like something like that. But make sure it's someone who wants to see you be successful no matter what. Like someone who's not saying like, oh, I don't want her to be better than me. Someone who you can truly, genuinely open up to, express your feelings to, and they hold space for you. That might be a little bit harder, but the more you put yourself out there, the more you're going to attract someone like that. And then you'll have that space for yourself.
I think that that's really great advice. And I think that, that's why, there are people like you and people like me, like we have these communities, because it can be hard to make friends after you're finished with school and, you're just out in the world. And all of us who are, like somebody said, that they were team weird or whatever you said earlier. She said, yes, I'm team off too. Yes. So, So what you do is then you come and hang with, me and with Tia in our courses and our podcasts on our, in the chat, whatever. You might I'm looking at the chat and I see beautiful brown queen, then I see goddess Erin, then I see goddess Cece, goddess Tynesha. Look at the person who's next to you in the chat. That's a like-minded person. You are like-minded people. You're not here for no reason. So Goddess Tia, tell them where they can come and play with you and have all of the eclectic witchy magic that you make in this world.
Yeah, so I am mostly on Instagram at cosmic_witch_goddess. And my website is tiamariejohnson.com.
Yay! That is so beautiful to watch you and your evolution, seeing you, like, seriously, you were already a confident person. You were already a person that felt like that your energy was, in your power. But it feels like even more now talking to you, and I haven't seen you like this, like probably in about a year and a half.
Yeah.
You have blossomed, sis.
Thank you so much. It's been a lot of personal growth and shadow work, ugly cry, shadow
work. Shadow work will do it to you. Shadow work will take you there.
Right, but you always come out for the better. I have not had yet one experience doing shadow work where I thought, oh, I shouldn't have done that. It's always for the better. And I'm going to even say this. The moment I started really practicing shadow work and living my truth, I dropped weight like that. Because as you know, we energetically pick up those pounds so we can have, tougher skin. And we don't even really need that. We're, so it's just so many health benefits as well. Like, and literally, I even got my blood tested. It's all good. Wow. So there's not a hormone thing or anything. Yeah. Like literally, just when I reestablished my boundaries, worked harder on myself, be more selective who I hang around, and just like that.
It's so funny that you say that, because I was just having this conversation with them, I think last week in a live stream, like just talking about, weight and protection. And for me, like when I, put on weight is like, you feeling unsafe in the world. And so, putting on layers and barriers. And then when you do shadow work and you integrate, the wholeness of yourself, and you're willing to be yourself at however people judge it, you're most beautiful, you're most ugly, whatever it is, then you don't need a barrier between you and the world. And it's like, okay, here, this is me. Deal with it. Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Well, thank you, Goddess Tia, for this sacred conversation. I'm looking forward to the next one already. Are you doing anything special for Halloween, Ms. Eclectic Witch Goddess?
I've been thinking about it, and I don't know exactly what I want to do. And it's funny because I have some stuff that I ordered, so I'm still thinking. I don't know. It's one of those things where you have so many ideas in your head, and it's like, okay, Tia, you got about a week. Like, you want to figure this out? So I don't know yet.
Okay, see, so y'all have to follow Miss Tia, see what Goddess Tia is up to. So you have to follow her to find out. And the people in the comments who are saying, I need to do shadow work, there's actually a whole section of shadow goddesses in African Goddess Initiation, the Temple of Shadows. And there are also shadow goddess cards, 7 in the deck. I have them over here because I was doing some shadow work. So there are shadow goddesses in the deck that will help you to go deeper on this. So sending you all love. Everybody have a wonderful, beautiful rest of the day. If you are wanting the replays of this series, you can go to globalgoddessclub.com, globalgoddessclub.com. And for the Hay House folks, if you're not already following me at Abiola TV, please come on over, because this is how we evolve. All right, everyone, have a beautiful, beautiful rest of the evening. Sawubona, my friends, and that means we see you. Bye. Bye, Goddess Tia.
Bye.